everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast. I hope you're having an amazing and terrific and wonderful week and that you're staying safe. This is kind of a weird time of, well, for everyone in existence, and it's a little bit different here for us at the Dice Tower. Many of the videos that we're doing, we're recording way in advance. When you see this, I've recorded this probably a long time before it happened. But I'm assuming today is a great day nonetheless. We're also doing a lot more of our stuff live streaming because we're all distant from each other at this point in time. We're all in different places, but fortunately we've been practicing with live streaming and we're able to do a lot of that together. We are doing a daily chat every night, so come on our channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time each night. Join us and just talk to us and have a good time hanging out with the other people in chat, and hopefully that's a way that we can bring just a little bit of joy back to you. All right, well, speaking of that, let's get started. So today's thing that I found on the internet, which you can find a link to below, is a blog from Board Game Geek by Anthony Faber called 10 Games I Don't Like. Now, I try to, I don't want to be too negative here, but I thought it was a really well-written blog post. He picked 10 games and said, these are games that I think are great games, but I don't like them, and here's why. And some of the games I highly agree with him on, and other games I disagreed with a lot. But I thought the reasoning was sound. I always find this to be interesting when someone says, this is a good game, but here's reasons why it doesn't work for me. And that's a pretty interesting concept. It's not a very long read, just a short paragraph per game. There's some games on there that I was like, yeah, okay. And there's other games on there I thought I wouldn't have put that. But each time he put his reasoning, I said, that makes a lot of sense. So that's just something I thought I would point out. Definitely check it out. Let's keep moving.
Hi guys, I am Randy.
I am Ellen. We game together.
Excellent class.
Thank you. Welcome to another call video.
About lanterns first here at the Harvest Festival. It's a good gateway game for people.
Yeah.
In fact, it's one that I recommend to people a lot for their first game or first couple of games.
Yeah.
So we are keeping this one. It has where when you lay a tile down, everybody gets something. I think that alone will keep new players engaged.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the hardest things for people sometimes is they feel bored or they're not doing anything or there's long waits in between turns.
Yeah.
This one works for that. And you can even try to avoid giving people certain cards by how you put the tile down and which tiles you place. So I think it's got that interaction too. So it's just an all-around great entry game.
It is, absolutely. Okay, Notre Dame or Notre Dame. How do you say it? I have no idea.
Notre Dame? I don't know.
No idea how to say this. Steffenfeld. I love the dude.
It's a brutal game, really, with the rats. There's like a rat track that you have to avoid, otherwise it starts eating points and things.
We are keeping it, in case you haven't guessed.
Yes, we are keeping it. Lots of good things in this game. It's a point salad game, but one of its best ones, and it scales really well through all the player counts. It goes all the way up to 5, and it plays well at 5.
Yes, it does.
This is one I would definitely recommend for any point salad-y lovers out there.
I love points, and I love salad.
Hey, here's another point salad game.
Look at that. It's another Steffenfeld. We should see if he ever wants to come over.
This game is brutal to you. It is so absolutely brutal, and you can be very mean to other players also.
Which is cool.
You'll have a set number of different actions that are put out in a couple of groups or multiple groups depending on your player count. Once one person goes there, and you can decide if you're going to be there first by going up this one track, and anybody else that wants to go there has to spend 3 coins.
And it's so hard to get money.
Coins are really hard to get.
Gosh.
So you can really just go somewhere specifically because you know somebody else wants to go there.
Yeah.
Take a decent action for yourself.
It's actually one of the most unforgiving games I've ever played.
It's very unforgiving.
It's terrible, and we're keeping it because we love it. Did we say that? I don't know if we said that. We're keeping it.
Hunt for the Ring. This is a hidden worker, or not hidden marketplace, hidden worker placement. A hidden movement game. Hidden movement game where it's like one versus all.
Yes.
And this one person, has the ring, the other people have the Nazgul, and you're going around. And depending on what you do, you're kind of leaving tracks out, and you have to follow those tracks and figure them out. Hidden board, all sorts of really neat things.
You know what? It's in our It's in our call pile.
Yeah.
But I have to say, maybe we should try it one more time with, like, more people. Because we've only ever played it just you and I.
True.
Do you think that would change the
I don't think it would change
feel?
that much, honestly,
Really?
because...
It breaks my heart. I love Lord of the Rings.
I know. I'm surprised that you're going to get rid of this one,
Well,
but it just fell a little flat for us. I don't think that hidden movement games are really for us.
They're not.
At least so far, they're not. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
So in other things to review that are outside of board gaming, today I thought I'd talk a little bit about Disney Plus, especially since all of us are streaming a lot more than we might normally be during this time period. Disney Plus, I was more excited about Disney Plus than any other streaming service, although normally I find out about streaming services after the fact, but Disney Plus was such a big announcement. I was extremely excited about it, mostly because of the Marvel stuff that was going to be coming on it. That Marvel stuff has yet to appear. They keep announcing it, and I know that some of the real life events have pushed some of it back. But overall, so Disney Plus, I was using on my computer. I was really annoyed that I couldn't get it on my TV, but we replaced our TV and the new one could get Disney Plus. So the positives of Disney Plus is it has a really good, deep library of a lot of great content that we all know and love. From stuff like the X-Men cartoon, a lot of great Disney shows. My kids love Disney shows, the Disney movies, and there's some Disney movies that are on other streaming networks, but they're all slowly kind of coming home to this. So I really like that. That backlog of just this huge library worked well. And I thought that the interface, both on the computer and on TV, was really easy to play and mess around with. It worked nicely. The new content, The Mandalorian, was amazing. I enjoyed it from start to finish, thought it was a fantastic show. The rest of the new content is okay. Some of it's good. There's the movies. We like the Christmas movie and some of the TV shows. The Jeff Goldblum one makes me smile for a little bit, but it's a little too much Jeff Goldblum, if that makes sense. And so the new stuff's there, but there's just not enough of it right now. And the Marvel stuff, I really kind of wish they had launched with a Marvel show ready to go. Because now I've had this thing, I'm going to have had it for half a year, and there's still nothing. Now, I'm going to keep Disney Plus for now because, A, it's a network I can be like, kids, go, watch, whatever, I don't care. There's maybe a few things on there that I don't want them to watch, but for the most part, it's a pretty safe area for them to go around and watch stuff. And there's a ton of content there. It plays smoothly and works well. For me, though, I'm finding myself not going to it much anymore, unless I'm in a nostalgic mood. I like new content, and Netflix is kicking Disney Plus around the block right now with their new content. They're always having new stuff come out, and that's exciting and interesting, while with Disney Plus, they're just not there yet. Now, maybe they'll be there in a few years, but right now, it's kind of, So I'm going to keep it for now, especially nowadays where we're inside a lot and watching a lot of things. But I'm finding it to be less exciting and thrilling. And I find myself personally, on a personal level, if I'm like, I wonder what's interesting to watch, I'm going Netflix, Amazon Prime, then Disney Plus. And that's, I might even go to Hulu or go over to CBS or something like that, which I think CBS is clearly the worst of them. But anyway, Disney Plus, I was super excited about it, and it could still reach that potential. It's just not there yet for me.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, well, today we're going to be talking about this lovely game concept. I'll tell you why I'm emphasizing game so much later on. But in this game, basically you have a card that's going to have some clues on it, conveying a thought or idea or a movie or who knows what. And basically you have this board of options to choose from of kind of how you're going to convey this message. Is it fast or slow? Is it a movie or a quote? Is it round or tall? Or whatever it is. So this game can be a lot of fun, and it makes your mind kind of really think.
So talking about your mind really thinking, sometimes when we're in situations like we're in currently, of where a lot of us are at home, a lot of us are choosing not to go out for the safety of others, it kind of can be stressful for you mentally. And so one of the things that I'm personally doing while I'm home right now with the girls, just a small thing, but I'm making sure to get up at the same time and get dressed every day. I mean, it's just such a simple thing, but it really switches my brain when I'm not in pajama lazy mode all the time, that it helps me mentally to just do that little thing of getting up at the same time and getting dressed to start my day.
All right, so this game of concept, every time we have it out, we just laugh and laugh and laugh. It is so much fun, and it's really hard trying to convey these messages with these vague clues, and you get these crazy answers. It is just a ton of fun playing this.
Yeah, I do laugh a lot when I play this activity, because this activity can be very enjoyable, but this activity I would not call a game.
No matter what you call it, activity, game, it is fun, and I recommend it, even if she doesn't.
Well, if you'd like to hear our full thoughts on that, go ahead and check us out on YouTube under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. This is Ryan. I'm Bethany. Hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Hi folks, it's Andy from Potable Gaming. Welcome to my new segment, Change Your Venue, where I talk about board game IPs that I think would work really well in different mediums. The game I want to talk about today should need no introduction, and that is Jamie Stegmaier's Scythe, one of my favourite games of all time. And now, while this exists in different mediums already, it of course started as an art project for Jacob Rosakowski and has been recently, or is currently being turned into Iron Harvest, a real-time strategy game focused on the mech battles many people expected from the board game. I think it would work really well in the very specific world of prestige television, things such as Game of Thrones, Walking Dead and the like. I can imagine it now. We open up the first season with the big mech battles that everybody wants to kind of drive people in the way the dragons and things did in Game of Thrones. And then we move on. We look at the political situation afterwards. We follow all of the major characters from the games and some new ones we maybe have invented to see how they respond to the end of this war. Watch them forging their way back into the world, trying to discover what happened in the factory, and more importantly, reconnecting with the small folk. One of my favourite things from Scythe is the encounter card system, which shows you kind of little experiences and slices of life of the people who've been displaced or trying to rebuild following the war that our characters probably instigated. It was explored really well in the Game of Thrones books, but not necessarily as well in the TV show, and I feel the Scythe show would really do that. But on the bigger, more grandiose drama side, there's tons of stuff we can do as well from the game itself. I imagine season 2 or 3 you could bring in Albion and Togawa clan. I already see a season finale in which Togawa clan come in, making moves that look like other clans and other organisations, and it being a big twist that the Togawa clan are here and they're the ones doing it. And the entirety of Rise of Fenris would make a really cool multi-season arc that I'm not going to go into for spoilers' sake. And I just think this would be a fantastic show. It could be this solid political semi-fantasy drama that everybody's looking for now. And I would love to watch it, and I hope you would too. Let me know down in the comments below if you think that's a good idea, or if you think Scythe should be something else, or any other shows or games you want me to cover. Anyway, as always folks, I've been Andy, and it is still your round.
So what's coming from the Dice Tower this week? Well, I'm going to be taking a look and comparing Starcadia Quest to Arcadia Quest. I'm also looking at the extra stuff. There's a pile of extra things for Starcadia Quest, including the expansion for Starcadia Quest, the Build a Robot expansion. And so I'll be taking a look at a bunch of other various games throughout the week. If you haven't seen, me and Rado are doing a show now called Corner to Corner. Tuesdays it's on our channel. Fridays it's on his channel. And we're picking a mechanism from Board Game Geek, talking about that mechanism, doing a live top 5 from the audience where we go back and forth through that, and then going on. Other than that, I hope there's some. We had our daily chats, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, every night. Other than that, I cannot tell you what's going to be on our channel this week. Again, I'm recording this a little farther ahead of time than I normally would. But we're hoping to do a few other live things. There might be another top 10 this week. Again, we'll just have to wait and see.
Hey everyone, it's Anna Maria from Girls Game Shelf. I'm super excited to be joining you this morning. Today I want to tell you about 3 games that can play as many players as you like, and you can play them over the internet. The first game is On Tour. In this game, you're roaming the country with your band, trying to hit as many concert venues as you possibly can. One person can roll the dice and everyone else can play along with either the player screen from their own box or one they've printed off online. The next is Cartographers. In this game, you're trying to construct an idyllic little hamlet for your villagers. Using the solo rules, everyone can have the fun of having the monsters come in just like you would if you were playing a game in person. And finally, there's Welcome To, which uses cards instead of dice for the randomization of elements throughout the game. In this one, you're putting together the perfect little neighborhood with parks and pools, and little fences between all the houses. To play these online, simply use your phone's camera, point it at the game, and you'll be GMing, game mastering, basically for everyone who's playing along at home. I hope you find this helpful, and if you do, be sure to check us out at girlsgameshelf.com. Regardless of how you're getting to play this week, I hope you get plenty of games in, be well, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Your shelf of shame is your collection of games that you haven't played yet. Should you feel shame about having these games unplayed? Probably not. I mean, you haven't played them for a reason. They're probably not any good. Your shelf of opportunity is your collection of games you haven't played yet. Is it really much of an opportunity to get these games played? Probably not. I mean, you haven't played them yet. Probably not that good.
So you're at the end of a game, and we have a die roll, and I need to get a 3 or higher, and we win. And I roll, everyone stands up, and it's exciting. Whether it's a cooperative game or competitive game, coming down to that final roll, very exciting. And I love games that have exciting moments like that. But there is some argument to be said, not a good game when you almost lose. I don't mind that. Like, we all love watching the games, and the sports movies are based on this, right? Where the good guys are losing until the very end, and then in the fourth quarter or the ninth inning or the final, period, they come back and they win the game. And it's that the clock is ticking down, and there's the shot, and he scores, and it's exciting, and everyone's going berserk. That's exciting and all, but not so exciting if you're the coach. Like, yeah, we won. I would have preferred to win by 20 points. Now, how does that work in a board game? We'd like our games to be more, everyone's involved with the game. And we want our games to be close at the end because no one likes to be shut out. But how do you feel about that? If you just eke out a victory, does that stress make the game worse for you? Like, for some people, they might sit there and go, well, it's fantastic. I had a great time playing this game. I was trying to win. It was back and forth, and anyone could have won. But at the same time, if a game comes down to a final die roll, some people will say, well, that's too much luck on that one die roll. My argument might be you should have played better so that it didn't come down to that die roll. But that would probably sound rude and mean. I don't mind when games are close. I don't like when games are artificially close, when a game will deliberately try to keep scores close together. But I just played a game the other day, and the scores were like 72 to 70 to 68. And we thought, wow, that was good. It made everyone feel good, even last place. While a game where someone wins 200 to 100 to 30 might make the person who got 30 feel a little bit less adequate. Although some people do like that because they're saying, hey, the fact that you can reach this big score, yeah, I crushed the other person, but crushing someone, taking out the fact that you're crushing, I'm not trying to crush your spirit, but it feels good to have a decisive, overwhelming victory. Because that's how it would feel in real life, right? If I'm going to try to win something, I want to win decisively. You come home and we're like, we won the game by 20 points, you feel good. You come home and you won by a point, you can sit there and go, wow, if we had made one more mistake, we would have lost. So I'm all for exciting ends in games. I want to see that close, what's going to happen. To me, that works out great. But is that a problem sometimes with the game? Or maybe there's too much luck involved, and maybe that bothers you. Like, if you win but barely, do you feel like, wow, it was luck? Because when it's that close, any small amount of randomness made it go my way, so I really didn't play as well as I think. Or do you feel good? You're like, wow, I eked out that victory. To me, that's the kind of side I lay on. Even if it's just by a point, I'm like, and if I lost by a point, I'm like, I almost won. Either way, I feel pretty good about the matter. But some people, if they lose by a point, that bothers them more than if they lost by 100, because if they lost by a point, then their mind recreates the whole game and goes, in anything here we had done differently. Whenever there's a movie and the one sports team wins over and they're all cheering going up the field, I always wonder what the car ride home is for the losing team. Like, man, we had that game in the bag. And at the very end, they came back and won. There's usually not a lot of shaking hands and good sportsmanship there, I guess. Well, I guess there maybe isn't a field, but afterwards, how did they feel at night? Anyway, what do you like? Do you like that close victory, or would you rather win decisively? I'm not saying you want to smash your opponent's spirits into the ground, but just something where you win and you're like, then that's why I won and I know it.
Howdy folks, welcome to By the Numbers. My name is Hunter Thomason from the Family Showdown. This episode of By the Numbers, we're continuing my Through the Years series, where we look at the best game on Board Game Geek by year, starting with 1970, this time, 1991. Taking a look at the top 5 from 1991, we see the number 1 game is Teach You, coming in at number 150. Teach You is a 4-player only, 2 teams of 2 players, trick-taking / ladder climbing game. Not that kind of ladder climbing. Ladder climbing, that means where basically you lead a type of card, maybe one card or a pair of cards, and each person around the table has to increase or play a better version of that, whatever category you started with. In doing a little research on Teach You, and from just knowledge of attending conventions and such, this game has kind of a insane, craze fan base, maybe? I've seen people with Teach You's tattoos and license plates. They kind of it's like a lifestyle. Taking a look at the ratings, nearly 13,000 of them. We see tons of 8s for an overall rating of 7.6. Taking a look at the weight. I don't care what other people say, I like the weight of games. Comes in at a 2.34, still pretty light, but it is just kind of a, dare I say, generic trick-taking game. Even after all these years, Teach You is insanely popular among select people. Are you among that selection? See you next time.
Hi, we're Board Game Opinions. I'm Amy.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Mark.
And today we're looking at our segment Cafe Play, where we look at the popular cafe games this week. Today we're talking about Medium.
It's an odd one, this one, because when it first came out, we weren't that impressed, were we?
No, and it was quiet. Nobody was really asking for it.
No, there was no buzz when it initially came out, which does make this an unusual one that's been popular this week. But it has. People have been popping in and they don't tend to know the name of it. They do tend to describe it to me like, oh, what's that game where you're like trying to guess what each other's saying, and before they've even finished their sentence, I'm halfway across the cafe going and guessing it for them.
Yeah. I really like the idea of it. When you're trying to come up with a word that's halfway between 2 things you've both been given, that sounds great. What I find is when we play it, sometimes if you connect with somebody and you sort of hit that word, it's super satisfying. But when you don't, it's like, oh, you thought of that? Yeah. Okay, let's try something else. Oh, you thought of that? Every time, it just doesn't work. Like
hard to glue with some people. I think sometimes when you've got larger players in the game as well, it can become quite slow. So although it's one that I have been suggesting for large player counts because it supports them, I do give people a pool when I'm suggesting things. There'll be things like Crosstalk and Masquerade in there too. And everyone's been picking Medium at the moment.
You must quite enjoy this because it's such an easy teach for you compared to even the light games we generally talk about. This is an easy teach.
Yeah, there's barely any rules. It's really easy to explain. You give a quick example and they're like, oh, cool, and you just leave them to it.
Is there some way that you could have like simultaneous play to speed it up?
Yeah, that is only
just waiting, aren't you?
It is one of the main downfalls of the game, is that when you do have a lot of people, it can become really boring waiting for your turn to come around. There are a couple of special abilities, but honestly, they don't matter that much. So one set of people this week, we had a simultaneous game of Timeline and Medium going on at the same time. Idea, actually, and so while half of the board were thinking, oh, look at my things, the others were guessing each other's words.
Okay, yeah.
Well, sadly, that's all we've got time for. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And that's it for another Board Game Breakfast, folks. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you coming through. I'm always thrilled about our contributors and the good job that they've done here. And I want to thank them. And I know that this is a tough time for everybody going on. And once again, love to encourage you to come join us when we do our different things that we're doing live. Tomorrow on Tuesday, Rado and I are doing the Corner to Corner. Then that's live, so you can come join us there, or the daily chats at night. Stay in touch with people, play games with people online. Just keep your spirits up. We want to do that here too. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast. We'll see y'all next time.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.